Hey, I am Aniphils, your resident Aniphile, here to give you a fix of anime philosophy. We are continuing on what we did last week in terms of the Bleach reactions, so we will be reacting to Bleach the Thousand Year Blood War, episode 4, The Betrayer. So the title obviously tells you where this is headed, but it's a quick recap. So basically last week, we had Captain Ukitake, who is trying to basically be the lifeline to the Shogun. So we find out that Captain Ukitake has been sick for most of his life, and that his organs were pretty much preserved by Miyama, which is a local deity from the neck of woods that Captain Ukitake is from. So pretty much, he uses the power that his god gave him to become the Soul King's right arm. And so Yhwach and pretty much his army are fighting Ichigo and company and trying to kill this whole king permanently and prevent the rescue that Ukitake, Ichigo, and all the rest of the society is pretty much trying to put together. So without further ado, let's get to the content. Look at Uryu with the smart thinking and stuff. This is just an aside. Why is it that Chad or Hime and Ganjo are just sitting there? Like, why are they not fighting? Like, are they just there for moral support? Like, I'm just trying to say, like, it's craziness. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, we all go to a fight saying that we're gonna fight, and you see the guy is actively trying to kill the Soul King, and you don't see the other ops with him. Why are you not trying to help me secure the situation so that we can win? This one kind of different. This betrayal is kind of different. Just because we know that Uryuu is a Quincy, so like part of him is like conflicted in the sense that it's like, all right, you are my friend, you have become the homie over a number of years, us fighting side by side, but at the same time I'm Quincy. And this is the Quincy king, and I want to bring in and usher in his vision. Also, I know that my people of Quincy were not treated favorably for a number of years. And I thought that at some point I could go this with some Reapers, but now you see that Uryuu has made a decision. You know, I think that because of Ichigo's unique position, all of this being part Quincy and part Soul Reaper, it's difficult for him because it's like, all right, on one end, he could understand what Quincy went through, right? Or at least try to imagine because his mom is a Quincy or was a Quincy when she was alive. So it's like he can kind of probably empathize better than any Soul Reaper, right? But at the same time, we understand what happens if the Soul King dies. The three worlds are pretty much going to be left destitute, right? So the land of the living, which is his friends, his family, his sisters, all reside, right? The Soul Society in Mundo, where all the Hollows and company reside. So pretty much Ichigo, we already know what decision he's going to make ultimately, but seeing him struggle and wrestle with how to not kill his friend, essentially, because that's pretty much what's going to happen. Because we already know what type of person Ichigo is. He's a very strong-willed, family-oriented kind of guy, friend-oriented kind of guy. So it's going to be a struggle for him. So let's see how this shakes out. And again, the only main players we see is Ichigo and Uryu. Then we got Uryuu on the other side, but Chad, Ganju, and Orihime are still not doing much. I understand, arguably, Orihime, you have feeling power, your offensive bag is really there, especially when we talk about opponents at this level. But do something, Ganju and Chad, doing those little arm blasts you be doing, like something. Ichigo just made the face you make when you find out that your best friend that you go way back with, not really for you. Like the utter disbelief and shock on Ichigo's face, right? Is like, I wouldn't say heartbreaking, but it is like a little saddening, right? Because if you can relate to a betrayal like that, even though it's like, when you think about this betrayal, it's like, it reminds me of when, again, people who have, let's say, two different like fundamental beliefs about the world. That could be religion, that could be politics, that could be whatever, right? And then you see the ultimate clash, right? Even though Ichigo, you could say, is like a merger of two different perspectives, right? Coming together in harmony. Whereas though Uryuu is like staunchly a Quincy. So it's like seeing a Democrat and a Republican go at it, and it's like, yo, we can't be friends no more because I've decided to take up exposition in an extreme sense, right? So now we're finding that, his other friends are also in disbelief and shock. But it's like Ichigo almost doesn't have the will to fight Uryuu, because it's like, how do I fight one of my best friends? How do I kill one of my best friends, right? Because like at the end of the day, all I want to do is protect the three worlds. I don't want to kill you, but at the same time, Uryuu was saying, if you want to do this, guess who's going to stand in your way? Me. Oh, what's going on? Ichigo keeps going on, right? So you're just looking at what Uryuu's face is conveying to us is like, no, I'm resolute in my decision to protect the Quincy King and to bring about this revolution. And so it's like, when you really kind of just like break down what we're seeing in Uryuu's disposition, is like, this is someone who's clearly made the decision. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's like, is hurtful as somebody who's a friend of somebody like this, or wants to be a friend of somebody like this, right? Because it's like, you're thinking about the betrayal in real time and trying to marry conflicting beliefs, right? You're trying to fight against somebody that you don't want to fight against, but at the same time, while maintaining your stance on protecting the thing that you want to protect. So it's like the ambivalence and the amount of cognitive dissonance that's going through Ichigo's head is probably astounding, right? Because it's like, he probably never thought he would have to make a decision like this. Lying. They did my man Ichigo bad. Like, that reminded me of that scene. I don't know who have seen Transformers 1 at this point. That Megatron scene. If you've seen Transformers 1, you know what I'm talking about. Does not care whatsoever. Look at that face. He don't care. He has no picks. He's not about to lose no sleep over this. All right, nope, looks like that is all, folks. Okay, general breakdowns and thoughts on the episode. I want to say that it was a beautifully shot episode, like aesthetically pleasing, the art style, animation, the fighting, great. In terms of themes and like Uryuu betraying Ichigo, the one thing I thought about with this is that when we talk about betrayals, I think that what Uryuu is like an internal versus external thing, right? And I'm explaining what I mean by it. I think for him is like, either I betray my friend or I betray who I believe I am as a person. My internal compass, my ideals as a Quincy, right? I think that those are the two things that he's wrestling with. And obviously he chose to betray Ichigo because he does not want to cease being a Quincy and, all that it entails. So a lot of times when we talk about betrayals, usually it's like it comes down to the ideals, obviously, why certain people betray other people, but sometimes people just betray people for the dumbest of reasons. Here with Uryuu, he has a very solid reason, right? And we could even say that this was foreshadowed to a large extent throughout the series. But it's like it's still heartbreaking to watch or saddening to watch because like we would want to think that Uryuu would side with his friends. And obviously that didn't happen. And then we also see that Yhwach, he pretty much is killing the Soul King, about to take his power. We see that the Soul Society is panicking because they don't have a countermeasure. We saw them try to kill the Aizen, one of the biggest ops last episode, right? So it's like the Soul Society is in dire straits. But the philosophical